Have you ever walked away from a conversation wondering how you just agreed to do something you absolutely did not want to do? You sit there replaying the interaction, trying to pinpoint the exact moment you lost control, but you come up empty. The truth is, you were outmaneuvered, but not by someone smarter or more talented than you. You were simply on the receiving end of a psychological mechanism that bypassed your logical brain entirely. The people who effortlessly get their way in life do not rely on luck. They understand the invisible levers of human behavior. For decades, behavioral scientists and expert negotiators have studied exactly what makes people comply, yield, and trust. Today, we're going to break down 3 wildly effective psychological tricks that work on almost everyone. These are not cheap manipulation tactics. They are deeply ingrained biological responses. And by the end of this, you will know exactly how to use them to instantly take control of any room. Let us start with something that sounds simple, but is fundamentally devastating to a person's defenses. People absolutely despise being told what to do. From the moment we are born, human beings possess a psychological trait called reactance. When someone gives you a direct command, your brain automatically perceives it as a threat to your autonomy, and your immediate instinct is to push back. Think about the last time someone told you to calm down. Did you actually calm down, or did you become infinitely more enraged? Exactly. So how do you get someone to do exactly what you want without triggering this defense mechanism? You use the illusion of choice. Instead of making a demand, you frame your desired outcome as a set of carefully curated options. If you need a coworker to help you with a tedious project, you do not say, "You need to help me with this report." That triggers reactance. Instead, you say, "Would you rather pull the data for this report or draft the executive summary?" By offering 2 choices, you completely shift the cognitive load of their brain. They stop evaluating whether they want to help you at all, and they start calculating which option is less painful. You have engineered the boundaries of their reality, and because they made the choice, they feel completely in control. The beauty of this trick is that you don't care which option they choose, because you win either way. This works in high-stakes business negotiations, sales pitches, and even on stubborn toddlers who refuse to eat their vegetables. The illusion of choice is the ultimate bypass key to the human ego. It makes people feel like they're the ones driving the car, when in reality, you are the one quietly steering the wheels. But here's where it gets dangerous. What if someone is using a much darker, more intense version of this trick on you right now to extract information you never wanted to share? That brings us to the second trick, the devastating power of the strategic pause. Human beings are deeply uncomfortable with silence. In our evolutionary history, isolation and silence often meant danger. It meant you were disconnected from the tribe. So when a conversation suddenly goes dead silent, our stress hormones spike. We feel an overwhelming urge to fill the void, to smooth over the social friction and make the discomfort go away. In negotiations or daily confrontations, the person who speaks first after a heavy silence almost always loses. Imagine you're asking your boss for a raise. You state your number, and instead of responding immediately, they just look at you in complete silence. If you're like most people, you'll start to panic. You'll ramble, you'll justify your request, and eventually you'll start negotiating against yourself. You might say something like, "I know the budget is tight, so I'm open to a lower number." You just lost all your leverage because you couldn't handle a few seconds of quiet. The strategic pause flips this dynamic entirely. The next time you state your price, ask a critical question, or make a demand, close your mouth and wait. Do not break eye contact. Do not fidget. Do not look away. Let the silence stretch out until it becomes physically uncomfortable. The other person will feel an irresistible pressure to talk. They will reveal hidden motivations, they will concede points, and they will hand you the power just to break the tension. It's a psychological pressure cooker that forces people to show their cards simply to escape the awkwardness. Take a second and look at your own life. How many times have you nervously rambled during an interview or a date just because the silence felt too heavy? How much leverage and respect did you hand over just to ease your own internal anxiety? This next part is what nobody wants to admit about human interaction. We are all highly susceptible to an invisible social debt that we are constantly trying to pay off. Which leads us to the third trick, the principle of the preemptive favor. We like to think of ourselves as fiercely independent, rational creatures, but we are biologically hardwired to reciprocate. When someone gives us something or does us a favor, even if it's completely unprompted, our brain registers a deficit. We immediately feel an emotional itch that can only be scratched by returning the favor. This is the law of reciprocity, and it's one of the most powerful forces in human psychology. It's the exact reason why charities send you free return address labels in the mail. They know that giving you a gift that costs them pennies will guilt you into donating $20. If you want someone to agree to a massive request, you do not start by pitching them on how great your idea is. You start by manufacturing a small social debt. You do them a tiny, unexpected favor. It could be as simple as sending them an article relevant to their interests, bringing them a coffee, or giving them a genuine compliment in front of their peers. You ask for nothing in return. You just drop the favor and walk away. But the psychological trap is already set. Their subconscious mind has placed you in the creditor column. Days or weeks later, when you finally make your real request, they will be driven by a deep psychological urge to balance the scales. They will agree to your proposal without even realizing they're just paying back a debt you engineered from the very beginning. They will actually feel relieved to help you because it clears their subconscious ledger. These three tricks, the illusion of choice, the strategic pause, and the preemptive favor, are incredibly potent tools. They are completely invisible to the untrained eye, but relentlessly effective in practice. They work because they don't fight human nature, they hack it. They bypass logic and speak directly to the primitive parts of the brain that govern fear, ego, and social obligation. The next time you step into a negotiation, a boardroom, or even just a difficult conversation, try leaning into one of these techniques. Watch how quickly the dynamic shifts. Notice how easily you can guide the interaction without ever raising your voice or making a threat. Use them ethically to improve your communication, to persuade effectively, and to protect yourself from those who would use them against you. Because rest assured, the people at the top, the ones who always seem to effortlessly get their way, are already using these exact tricks on you right now. Don't be the person who always wonders what went wrong. Be the person who understands exactly how the game is played.